Well, it is Tuesday, October 7th, 2014, and it is shaping up to be possibly one of the best Octobers we've had in a long time. If you like this time of the year and Halloween and spooky spooks and the fall season, everybody's wearing hoodies now, everybody likes that, it's good. But there's a couple things that make this one a little bit special, I think, and one of them is that tomorrow night, I think, I saw something on Facebook that said it was tonight, but I think they might be in Australia or something, so it's October 8th, I think. But go out and check tonight anyway. It's supposed to be this blood moon, and if you've heard in Revelations in the Bible, it talks about the moon shall pour its blood and whatever. It was in Ghostbusters. But what happens is, lunar eclipse. Earth is between the moon and the sun, right? So the sun, light comes through the Earth's atmosphere, and you know how the atmosphere is broken up into colored bands like a rainbow? The sky we normally see is blue, but the red part of the band is going to go and hit the moon, and then the moon's going to look red. So that seems pretty cool. Don't see that every day. At least that's how I think it works. So blood moon, look forward to that. It's on Friday this year. Halloween is on Friday. I guess it's good if you have kids and like trick-or-treating. Even though people don't really trick-or-treat as much as they used to because everybody's afraid of, I don't know, other people. I guess it's a good thing. I mean, I kind of regret a lot of things I haven't done in life. One of them is that I've never been to an actual Halloween party. And I always like in TV shows and movies when they have Halloween parties, it looks like it'd be really fun, but I've never actually been to one. If people were living near me and they were going to throw one and wanted me to come, I could probably actually go to one. But not this year because it's on a Friday and I work weekends, so that sucks. Halloween's one of those holidays that's not a federal holiday, so I don't have to work it unless it just happens to be on the weekend like it is this year. Another thing. Ebola. Normally you wouldn't think that's a good thing, but if you like spooky spooks, there was some things in the news where people thought people were coming back to life that died from Ebola, or they thought they were dead and they weren't dead. That's probably the closest we've come so far to a zombie apocalypse, and a lot of you, like me, have been looking forward to the zombie apocalypse most of our entire adult lives. But it doesn't seem like it's going to happen. But a little atmosphere, you know, little spooky spooks, it's always good. Always good to have. Plus, terrorism is at a high. ISIS is beheading people, cutting heads off. That's spooky spooks, obviously. Adds to the ambiance. Borderlands pre-sequel coming out in a couple weeks. That's good. Fun times. Walking Dead. Less than a week comes back on. All the new fall TV shows are starting to come back on too. Supernatural is going to be on. That's pretty scary. Grey's Anatomy came back. I thought it was over with, but it's back. Homeland. I'm watching it right now. First two shows. It's great. So yeah, a lot of good TV shows. Football season starting up. It's always good. You know what? I've never seen the Nightmare Before Christmas movie. I might watch that this year. There's a lot of things that I like to watch around this time of year. I thought I would make a list of them, but not in any particular order. I'm just going to name some of the things I usually watch around this time of year. And one of them doesn't really make a lot of sense, but it does to me. But I like to watch tornado movies around this time of year. And tornadoes, they come around in April, so it makes no sense that I would like to watch them around this time of year, but I do. I saw this one movie called Night of the Twisters. I think it took place in fall, and it was weird. Like, that was the thing about the movie that made it weird, was tornadoes were coming around in an odd time of the year. You wouldn't expect them, so nobody was prepared for it or something like that. And the Twister movie, obviously one of the best movie of all time. I still got a couple movies I haven't seen yet. Valley of the Twisters, I think, and then Metal Tornado, where the tornado sucks up a bunch of metal shit. I've kind of flipped through them real fast to see if they look good, but they're mostly just, not about the tornadoes. They're just people and dramas, and it's B movies, and just, not very good, not very well made. But, tornado movies are always something I look for. Another thing, one of my top 3 favorite movies of all time, The Crow, amazing movie to watch on Halloween, because it's about a guy who dies on Halloween, and he comes back with superpowers to get revenge on everybody that killed him. How awesome is that? It's the greatest thing ever. Oh, he killed him and his girlfriend too, so it's getting revenge for his girlfriend. Great fucking soundtrack, one of the best soundtracks in any movie ever. And really gothic. It's not really scary, it's more actiony, but it's got that dark, gothic-y feel to it, so it's just a perfect movie. Plus, Brandon Lee died while making it, so that's gotta be kind of spooky. I think he was killed by the Yakuza. Crow 2 wasn't as good. Crow 3 was a piece of shit. So really the first one, that's all you gotta worry about. I think the comic books, I don't know if they were any good, but good idea anyway. I also like listening to Counting Crows around this time of year. I like Pearl Jam and Smashing Pumpkins, old 90s alternative rock for some reason. I just like it. I like this time of year. It's cool, it's not hot, It's not cold, just cool out. It's fucking stormy weather or like overcast, gloomy weather. I love that shit. This chair is squeaking pretty good. Another thing, it's good to watch, I suppose, around this time of year. Kaiju movies. Japanese Godzilla type movies with Mothra and what's the turtle one? What is that? It's like the same name as one of the Warcraft turtles, isn't it? Gameron? Gameron! That's it. All those cool kaiju movies. My favorite, and a lot of people will disagree with me, is Pacific Rim. Fucking amazing. I love that movie. Everybody either loved it or hated it. I don't know why you would hate it though. It's fucking amazing. I guess some people thought it was unbelievable how the guy kept living through all this crazy shit happening to him. But I've seen that happen in like tons of movies. What else? What else? Twilight Zone. I downloaded all of the Twilight Zones the other day. I haven't seen a whole lot of them, so I might watch some of those this month. But I did see this one that I heard about on Joe Rogan's podcast, which was amazing, about this guy who loves to read books, and his wife won't let him read. She's just a bitch. He won't even... He tries to read the newspaper, and she like takes it out of his hands and shit, and he goes to work, and he takes his lunch break, and he's trying to read, but he can't get any peace and quiet, so he ends up going inside... He works at the bank, so he goes inside the bank vault, and he reads in there, and then while he's in there, the door closes on him, or something, and then the world ends, like the apocalypse hits, or something, like nuclear fallout and everything. Maybe not nuclear fallout, because then he wouldn't be able to leave, but he ends up... He gets out... Wait... Yeah, next door, there's a library full of books that survived. So it's him, his one thing he loves to do in life is read a bunch of books, and he has a library and nobody around to bother him. Finally gets everything he wants, then his glasses fall off and he steps on them and he breaks them and he can't read. So it fucks it all right up. That was Twilight Zone, right? Yeah. Sounds amazing. It was amazing. Another thing, it's pretty good to watch, if you like scary shit, is Tales from the Crypt. I haven't seen a whole lot of those either, but I remember seeing one when I was a kid. First time I ever saw some titties. It's about this slime on top of this pond. These kids, these teenagers are swimming in this pond, and the slime comes out and starts chasing them around. Eats one of them. It's like this black sludge on top of the water, right? This one guy and this one girl get on this raft. I may have told this story in another video, I don't remember, but they're trapped on this raft in the middle of the pond. The thing won't let them leave. And the girl goes to sleep, and the guy takes her top off while she's asleep. And see, I was a little kid at the time, and I thought he was starving. He was trying to get them titties, get that titty milk. I think he was just trying to fuck her or something. Now I think back to it. But I think the slime ate one of them and the other one got away. But it was one of those Tales from the Crypt with the Crypt Keeper. That kind of stuff, right? So that's pretty good to watch. Another thing, kind of weird, probably dated now. I don't know, it's starting to make a comeback. I've seen a lot of stuff on Facebook with RCO, or is that what it's called? RCO? RKO? Something like that. I used to watch, me and my cousin, we had this little video rental store, and we'd always rent like weird shit. They had like old movies and stuff. We used to watch this one about giant robots fighting each other where the fist flew off like a rocket jocks? Robot jocks. That was it. And then around Halloween, we would always get the WCW NWO Nitro, or the wrestling, pro wrestling, the one that was not the WWF, but the other one, with Sting, who looks like the character from The Crow, so that makes it Halloween-y. Plus, they had this Halloween event every year. What was it called? Halloween Bash or something like that? There was a certain period for like 3 or 4 years where WCW wrestling was the greatest show on earth, and it was fake as fuck. But Hulk Hogan was there. He was a bad guy, and like a lot of the heavy wrestlers, whatever, the heavyweights, I didn't really care, but it was pretty interesting to watch. I just watched it for the fucking Mexicans. I liked watching the luchadors with their masks and their back flippies and jumping up on top ropes and doing hurricane ranas and shit. Rey Mysterio was he was masked still. He hadn't took his mask off yet. He was one of the big ones. And Psychosis and Ultimo Dragon, which is not really Mexican, he's Asian. I don't even know if he was Japanese or Chinese. Let's just say he was Oriental. And then there was Juventud Guerrera. He was a badass. And then Chavo Guerrera, and I think he died from something, along with Chris Benoit. He was around at the time. A lot of these wrestlers, they died. They killed themselves or something, or they had heart attacks or something. I don't know. But, Chris Benoit, he went crazy and killed his whole family and then himself, I think. But anyway, I always like watching wrestling around this time of year, but now I'm kind of going out of it. Part of me that knows things are fake kind of ruins things for me, like paranormal things and wrestling. Like, I've always been fascinated with paranormal investigation, but I don't really believe in that shit anymore, so there's not really any point to it. But I remember in elementary school, my friend Patrick, he had this big book that his grandpa gave him, I think, and it was like this. It wasn't really a spell book, but it was more like a ghost stories book, or like it's supposed to be like a real documentary kind of book where they assembled all this information about shit. I might have told this before about it explained how to make a hand of glory, where you dig up a thief that had died. He had to have been hanged on a full moon or something like that, right? And you cut his hand off. You drain the fat from his hand and you make a candle out of it and you put it in the palm of his dead hand. And then when you light it, it shows you where a treasure is buried or something weird like that. Or the hand of glory does something weird. That's one of those things you'll see on the Supernatural TV show. They have stuff like that all the time. Anyway, he had a book with like tons of stuff like that in it. And it was really fascinating stuff. I always wanted to get a club together, a monster squad, if you will, and look for monsters and paranormal shit and look for ghosts. But I just mentioned Monster Squad because I had it on IMDb here. That's also a good thing to watch this time of year. There's this 1987 film called The Monster Squad about these teenagers and these little like elementary school kids. And Dracula comes to life and he starts recruiting all these old classic monsters like the Mummy, the Wolfman, Frankenstein. They all start going through this town. And they have to like banish them or something like that. It's pretty cool. What was that other thing? Monster Squad. Oh, Ernest P. Worrell movies. Remember that one? The Ernest P. Worrell Halloween movie where he's supposed to get some milk, but this clue was M-I-blank-K, and he just starts with the alphabet, and first letter he comes with was A, so it was like, Miak, authentic Australian Miak, or something like that, or some kind of jelly. And then I guess the other Ernest movies are pretty good, like the camp one. The camp one was really, Ernest Goes to Camp. Wasn't there one where he worked at a bank? Ernest Goes to Jail, maybe? Robs a bank? I don't know. Anyway, those are good. And I suppose you could also throw in Mystery Science Theater 3000. Because a lot of those are like old movies, and old movies kind of have a spooky feel to them. I remember like a lot of them are like horror movies. There was the Swamp Creature was one. I don't know if you can even find those anymore. You can get the riff tracks where you watch the movie and you play the MP3 alongside of it and you cue it up at the same time and you can hear their whatever they're talking about the movie as you watch it. One of the best ones was not Predator. What's the other Arnold Schwarzenegger movie? Commando? The one with the black dude. Predator I think was pretty good too. I don't know. But I love those MST3Ks. I think that's about it. I mean, a lot of people will throw in like Peanuts, Great Pumpkin Special, and all those cool cartoons that are based on Halloween, but I don't know. Kind of over those. So I guess that's it. 2014, Halloween. Could be cool this year. I'll be working it, but for the rest of the month, I plan on watching a lot of TV, doing some fat things. I should probably make some candy. Not Halloween candy, but like some Christmassy candy. But I'll eat it on Halloween. I could go for some chocolate-covered peanut butter balls. I'm just rambling right now. Why am I still recording the video?